To begin, let me have your attention and give you the rules of the Commission's meeting. If you're not satisfied with the decision made by Traffic and Parking, you may appeal the decision by filing for a writ of cert with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of entry of the Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure your appeal is filed in a timely manner and all procedural requirements have been met. Do we have approval of today's agenda?
I so move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the minutes from the meeting August the 10th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
I so move.
Have a first?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approval of the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I second.
First and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, items on the consent agenda will be voted on at a single time. No individual public hearing will be held, nor will the Commission debate these items unless a member of the audience or the Commission requests that the items be removed from the consent agenda. Rules of the public hearing: keep comments to 3 minutes or less. Each person representing will be expected to offer new information that has not been made previously. Once the public hearing has been closed, no additional comments will be heard unless the public hearing is officially opened. On the consent agenda, resolution number 0915, proposal number 2015-021AB/001, a request to abandon 0.5 feet strip from Ackland Avenue right-of-way, an easement and easements and utilities to be abandoned on the property located at 1807 21st Avenue South, requested by Barge, Coffin and Associates, applicant Hill Center Ackland LLC, owner. Resolution number 08/15, remove no right turn on Hillsborough Circle at Brandywood Drive. B, authorize taxi stand on the north side of Broadway from 5th to 6th Avenue. C, remove a no left turn on 3rd Avenue North at James Robertson Parkway. This is a change in records only. These two here will have to be a voice vote. Hand vote, I mean.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, I need to clarify something on the agenda. Item 2A, that's a no right turn on red. I think we all know that, but it's not just a no right turn prohibition.
On which one, Chip?
2A, remove no right turn on Hillsborough Circle at Bandywood.
Yeah.
It's no right turn on red. Just for the record, I want it officially documented.
No right turn on red. All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as it's been corrected to reflect no right turn on red on Hillsborough Circle.
Have a first?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. You need a hand vote? Said.
All in favor.
All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? None. Appeals. Appeal the installation of a stop sign on Flintlock Court at Flintlock Place. Appeal requested by Council Lady Member Karen Johnson. Is Council Lady Johnson here, or is anyone?
I talked to her earlier, and she'd like an indefinite deferral. Unless someone's here to speak on it, we can still hear the testimony, but she wanted an indefinite deferral.
All right. We have an indefinite deferral. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to indefinitely defer item 1.
Second.
Have a first, a second. This takes a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Old business. Proposal number 2015M020AB001. A request to abandon an unimproved, unnamed right-of-way and easement and utilities to be abandoned on properties located at 2952 and 2956 Primrose Circle, requested by Jason Clifton, applicant, William and Stephanie Brooks, and Jason Clifton, owners.
Chairman, at the last meeting, I had asked for a deferral, made a motion because of some concerns over a future greenway. I understand it's not going to be in conflict, so with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve this item.
I second.
All right, we have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor?
Discussion. Wait, any discussion? Oh,
None from our side. If you're good,
Okay.
we're okay.
Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? None. Thank you. All right, on the next item, which is a public hearing, I'm going to recuse myself from this one, and I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair John Green here on the public hearing on Burnett Road on the Rock Quarry.
Chairman or Commissioner Green,
Yes,
if you want to throw it to Metro Legal, they can give us a 30-second synopsis of what the role of commission is one more time.
Okay.
And then we could open the public forum at your discretion.
Yes, legal counsel, please.
Yes, just in the interest of helping keep the commissioners advised of their role and also, helping the acting chairman keep things efficient in terms of the public hearing. The section of the charter that governs the function of this Traffic and Parking Commission explains that the purpose of the commission is to make the streets and roads and other public ways safe for pedestrians, motorists, and others, and to facilitate the flow of traffic thereon. So that's those two main points are really the main focus of the purpose of this commission. Then there are many other kind of sub-items that y'all are tasked with as well, specifically where parking is limited or limited to certain hours, where stop signs are to be placed, where traffic signal controls are to be placed, the direction of travel on a street, the establishment of speed zones, and the restrictions on the size of vehicles using certain streets. And then in addition, the Metro Council can by ordinance assign additional tasks to this commission as well. However, it seemed to me in the public hearing last time a lot of the testimony was kind of going beyond that subject matter, so I just thought maybe a reminder of that scope was relevant.
Chip, so based upon that, is our primary interest in this item relating to weight limits and whether the street is accommodating to the traffic loads?
I would think you're listening for volume, widths of roads, turning radii.
Okay.
Volumes, but of course heavy vehicles. I think we're going to hear that sort of thing.
Okay.
And then we, in turn, are going to look at the condition of the road. We'll measure the turning radius and the other things that go along with that. What we're waiting on right now, from what I understand, is our people are going to meet with their people, and we're going to come up with an impact study, is what they call it.
Okay.
And from there, we all will have something to review that gets a little more technical. Today, we want to hear it can be technical, but we want to hear the personal interest in this matter.
Okay.
And we can get down to the technical mathematics of it later.
Okay. Okay, with that said, what I'd like how to proceed is we'll have folks speak who are expressing concern or opposition to this first, and then we'll have proponents speak second. Councilman Hager, would you like to begin first, please?
Yeah, thank you. I think the last time well, you didn't turn it on. Larry Hager, I'm a councilman in District 11 where this property is Burnett Road. The last time we were here, we were discussing some of the issues of this road being used for this type of activity. One of the roads, as I understand, and I think I brought that out last time, was TCA 55-17-101 through 55-7-209. And of course, that has to do not only with the state, but the local governing bodies as well. And one thing that comes out about that is the weight of the trucks and whether they're going to damage the roads or be wide enough and those type of things. As I understand the statute, which is 55-7-205, this governing body will have the authority to determine the oversized vehicles and if they're overweight and make adjustments accordingly or deny any type of permits that want to be used by this type of activity. As far as the weight's concerned, I think we all know at this point in time what the operation is going to be and the type of weights that these trucks may carry. Like I said before, normally the maximum weight on Tennessee roads is 80,000 pounds. In this particular case, though, these particular trucks are going on the road, Burnett Road and Swinging Bridge Road, which I'm not convinced at this point in time that these type of weights on these roads will be able to handle that and the traffic through there as well. The other issue is going to be the width of this road. I think I'll have constituents speak today about the width, especially of Swinging Bridge Road. It's not a very wide road, and if you go out there and do a study, when any type of trucks come through there, they routinely go over the center line on that particular road, which I believe right now has a double yellow line on it. And as most people know, this road at one time was a small county road that was a connector between Hendersonville and also Old Hickory. That was the old Swinging Bridge Road that used to be below the dam. So this road was never designed to take this type of weight and these size of vehicles. So we would respectfully ask you, I think the last time we talked about doing the impact study, and that's what we were kind of waiting on. I got kind of late notice on this, so I wasn't able to get it out to all my constituents. If there's a way we can continue this one more time, I'd appreciate it so we can comment on the impact study when it comes in. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Are there any citizens who wish to speak about this? And if so, please state your name when you come to the podium. Keep your comments to 3 minutes or less and try to bring new facts to the presentation, please.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Jeannie Alexander, and I live at 1004 Fowler Street, which is right down the street from Swinging Bridge Road and both Burnett Road. I drive on Swinging Bridge Road daily, and on Burnett Road probably 2 or 3 times a week when the weather's nice to get to the lake. And one of the real issues of concern here is that once you get past DuPont, the road does narrow considerably. It's only a 2-lane road, but it becomes much more narrow. It's a road that is in poor repair right now. It's got some serious issues. There are some pretty major ruts on it, potholes. And along with that, the juxtaposition of this road to Rayon City means that there's a lot of foot traffic. And not only is there a lot of foot traffic on this road, there's a lot of bicycle traffic. Quite frankly, there are a number of people in Rayon City who don't have cars. I mean, their transportation is bicycle or foot. And so not only is this road used by cars and people going to the lake, there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people walking pets and a lot of people trying to walk on this road. And I think that presents a real safety concern. Not only does it seem to me that the road is not going to be able to withstand the weight of an onslaught of dump trucks, large trucks, day after day, I think we're courting a real disaster here with there being a serious injury. If you'd like to know what the residents really need done with this road, gee, some sidewalks would be nice, or maybe a bike trail, because that's who's using the road. Thanks again.
Next, please.
Since my impassioned pleas involving eagles aren't supposed to be heard, I'll just give a little bit of personal experience. Tim Jester at 1005 Jones Street. My wife and son and I go down to the beach on a regular basis, and I don't know, of the 15 or 20 times that we've been there over the course of this summer, we've passed Hoover dump trucks 5 or 6 times, and we've always had to stop, pull our forerunner as far as we can to the side of the road, which is pretty hard because there is no actual side of the road. It's just a ditch or a culvert, and had to let them pass. So it is, it's not easy to travel on the road in just a normal size SUV when the Hoover vehicles that we've encountered have actually been on that road as well. Thanks.
My name is Chuck Son. I operate a coffee shop called Uncommon Grounds at 1053 Donaldson Avenue in Old Hickory. And last time when I spoke to the commission, I explained that my background is in transportation, developing software for oversized, overweight vehicles that run all over the country. I appreciate the fact that you're all going to do an impact study. That's great. Is it permissible for me to ask any questions or just make statements?
Oh, please make your comments.
Just comments?
Yes, please.
Okay. I believe the next thing that we need besides an impact study is a traffic study to go with the impact study. There's one being done right now because there's 48 houses being built behind me, and they're measuring each corner of traffic right now. So we're looking at a couple of roads worth of traffic that are legal for the trucks to go on currently, that being Bridgeway, as far as to exit the Rayon City area, to exit the proposed core area. Bridgeway and Industrial Drive. And there is absolutely no way that a truck legally leaving Bridgeway at the bottom of that hill to go north, and from my understanding of what's going on, 2/3 of the construction is north, 1/3 south, so obviously 2/3 of the loaded trucks will be going north. There is no entry lane. You step right into traffic. So you've got 65,000 pounds, which is what the normal truck will be carrying, 41,000 pound payload, 25,000 pound vehicle weight, and stepping into 50-mile-an-hour traffic. So I'd like to see the study that you guys would do of traffic study other than impact study on roads. And just curious whether you have an opportunity to influence based on traffic volume as well as the current traffic volume plus the impact of the equipment on the road. Do you actually have the capability to stop the project or just make a suggestion? That's my question, comment.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sherrod Eddington. I live at 105 Cherry Branch Lane. I've lived in the Old Hickory area for almost 19 years now. And just to reiterate what has been said before, the road is extremely narrow, and Swinging Bridge Road. I have a boat. My wife and child and I will take the boat down to the boat ramp because it's a nice wide boat ramp for those of us who are challenged backing trailers up. It's a great ramp. But as you drive a boat, and ours is only 17 feet, so it's not that big, down that road, when cars and trucks come past you, you're taking your breath in just to get down. There is no shoulder to speak of. It's a narrow road to get down there, and so the presence of trucks, I think, would be extremely dangerous. And as the lady pointed out ahead of me, there are a lot of walkers, people that live in Rayon City, and bike riders down there. It's an active recreational area. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jimmy Tucker. I live at 110 Hickerson Street in Old Hickory. I am on Swinging Bridge daily, and the Hoover trucks that I've encountered so far have all crossed over the yellow line. They also go down to their site, their entrance site. They park in the road, right in the middle of the road. Some of the workers park up and down the sides of the roads where the cars, trucks overhanging into the road. There's no way that road can accept two of those passing at one time, and it's very unsafe in a car. But to imagine trucks coming in and out and passing each other, I don't see how that can happen as the road exists now. The road's rough. It's quite a few potholes up and down each side. So I understand the trucks don't want to run into those, but the alternative is to cross the yellow line. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Okay. Mr. White?
Chairman, members of the commission, my name is Tom White. I'm an attorney with Toon, Entrican & White, represent the applicant in this case. Appreciate the opportunity to come before you today. I represent Industrial, the owner of this 155-acre tract, and just give you a brief summary as to how we got here. My client checked out the zoning on the property more than 2 years ago. It's zoned to IG, which is Industrial General, the heaviest industrial zoning in Davidson County. It's not been that zoning of recent. COMZO, which was the first comprehensive zoning ordinance, was 1974. The property was zoned IG from that point forward. That's 41 years it's been zoned Industrial General. It was zoned a long time for Industrial General before then, as it was the old DuPont site. So it's had this heavy Industrial General zoning out there for probably 50 or plus years. But I mention this to you because when the client came to us originally, they asked us to determine if in this Industrial General you could have a quarry in the accessory uses, and you can. There is a matter of right. They're not a conditional use. It's an absolute matter of right under Metro law that you can put a quarry in the accessory uses on this property. We gave that advice to the client. The client purchased the property. You're probably all aware that the state of Tennessee enacted a Vested Rights Act called the Vested Rights Act of 2014. It became effective January 1 of 2015 this year. Basically what that act says is that if you pull a building permit on a piece of property, the government cannot change the standards. In other words, you can't change road conditions, you can't change the zoning on a piece of property, you can't come in and come with new requirements after the fact that would change or alter the right to particular use on a site. In this case, with the greatest deference, there's nothing that a Metro agency can do to prevent a quarry or the accessory uses on this site. What they can do and what we've agreed to do here is, although I'm not confident that a traffic impact study was required, and I've said this to Metro Public Works, we've said we'll do it anyway. We want to do a study. We've already sent some core samples of the road, all of which show that it's built to industrial standards. There's a legal presumption that when a piece of property is zoned a certain way, that the infrastructure carries it. In other words, if you have somebody wants to build an office building downtown, you don't come do a traffic impact study and check and see if the roads carry that kind of traffic. If it's zoned for an office, there's a legal presumption it carries it. That's the case here. I think it's also factual in this instance that the samples we have taken, which are I think 8 in number, some on Swinging Bridge Road, some on Burnett Road, all show it carries the adequate depth. There's a neighboring operation next to us called Odessa, which has huge trucks that carry vehicles on and off. And they've done a turning lane. They've done some improvements there. Whatever are reasonable road requirements, my client intends to do. Whether legally required or not, we will do that. But I want to make sure our position is that there is a matter of right, but we want to work with this Metro agency and agree to reasonable road conditions. I'd ask as far as the public hearing, it may make sense to come back when that's finished and come back here, but I appreciate your courtesies.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak?
Do you, if you want to close the public hearing, go ahead and do that.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
All approved? Public hearing is now closed.
If you'd like to hear where we are in the process,
please.
One of the people that has requested this impact study, you'd have to open up the public hearing if you want more comments.
No, excuse me, the public hearing is closed.
He had his hand up. He was trying to get his hand up. I handed it before it closed.
It's up to you. If you want to open it up, we can.
It's just a question. It's just a question. Is it just in general?
Well, if you would come to the microphone and make your statement, we'll reopen the public hearing for your comments, please, sir.
Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm trying to understand if the hearing right now, what's going on is just in general for traffic, or I'm here to speak on the taxi stands.
No, we're not here.
We know that
This is about the rock quarry.
Gotcha.
On Burnett Road.
Yeah.
We're not, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
But don't leave. We'll talk to you after the meeting if you'd like. Okay. All right, Devin works for Public Works.
Yes.
And he's involved in this impact study, this traffic study we keep talking about. And so whether it's right or wrong, or whether we agree with it or not, Devin, if you'd like to give us an update on where we are and what we're looking for as an agency with this study.
As it relates specifically to this project. Yes, the development group came in many months ago requesting a building permit for a small structure, small parking lot. At that time, there were some indications that there may be long-range plans for more development on the property. And as a condition of approval for that driveway connection, the Department of Public Works indicated that any further development or redevelopment of the property would possibly, potentially require the submittal of an impact study. And so basically the concept behind a traffic impact study is to evaluate the number, the size of vehicles, things like that, in an effort to ensure that the impact on the existing infrastructure, either from an operational or from a safety perspective, is mitigated to to a certain extent, to the best of the abilities of the developer who's asking for approval of their development project. So as it stands right now, we had some conversations with the engineers on this project. I think the most recent conversation was 2 weeks ago. They had requested a meeting to sit down and formalize the scope, which would look at the intersections that we were interested in, the road segments and things like that. And so we've been working with them to schedule an official scoping meeting. At this point, we have not had that meeting.
So I'm not sure if that helps you out or not, but we're going to have a meeting with their engineer to determine what we're looking for in this impact study, traffic impact study. And then we kind of massage it down and boil it down. And so the study that we end up with is what we're looking for from a traffic standpoint, and what Devin's looking for from a development standpoint, and what we're all looking for as far as before making a decision of this magnitude. So right now, the next step would be we're going to get together with the engineers in this project, request certain items be in this report, and then sit back and wait on the report.
Any commissioners have any comments?
I just have one quick comment to make sure I know exactly the piece of property that we're talking about. When you're on Swinging Bridge Road and you take a right on Burnett Road, is the proposed site on the left or the right of Burnett Road?
On the monitor there, it's in that light blue color, turquoise, whatever color that is, it's right there.
The west side of Burnett Road.
Yeah.
And there are no roads there now that allow you to get in and out other than Burnett from this site?
Or Swinging Bridge itself. It depends on where the driveway
or
connection.
Swinging Bridge. So if this site was there now, as things are, you would exit onto Burnett Road and then to Swinging Bridge Road to Industrial Drive.
That dark blue is the path that we all agreed would be the path of travel, because that's your main arterials for collectors. So, I mean, at this point for the commission, we have nothing on our table. We've had no request for truck limitations. We've got no request for turn prohibitions, speed limit changes. There's nothing that we have specifically been asked to look at. It's just on the radar at this point. We can see it coming, so we want to keep you involved.
And regarding the timeline for the impact study, how long are we looking at, a month or 2 months?
Well, that's, as far as the submittal goes, that's really up to the development group. I mean, we frequently scope traffic impact studies that are never completed and never turned in. But if they want their projects approved, they have to submit them, of course. But, you know, just in the development business, frequently projects never develop. So anyway, the ball really is in the developer's court as far as the submittal of the report to us. What typically happens is, as part of the permitting process, these are requirements of getting the approval to actually construct and do something. So in the absence of having the required information, generally speaking, our agency will withhold approvals of projects from proceeding forward until those reports are turned in. So to a certain degree, really, at this stage of the game, the ball is kind of in the hands of the developer if they're choosing to proceed on the project.
Thank you. Any other commissioners have a comment, please?
Make a motion.
So nothing changes right now as far as what's going up and down on the roads. It is, I mean, what we've heard in the discussion about trucks, et cetera, or people trying to get on the lake. I mean, we're not changing any roadway limits, facilitating traffic flow, nothing.
Well, officially, nothing's changed. We're not out there watching it, but supposedly on paper, nothing has changed. Maybe they did this first item, the driveway and the other thing, the office or something, but as far as the large trucks themselves, nobody's been given permission to do that. If it's happening, it's happening, but this body hasn't agreed to anything like that.
Thank you.
So,
I'm going to make a motion.
okay, so do we need to make any kind of, this item was strictly a public hearing item? Chip,
Correct.
there's no motion required from this body today?
We needed to go through the commission to officially open and close a public forum. Other than that, there's not an action item on the table today.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, well, Mr. Chairman,
So
now...
I do have one question. So Chip, when is this coming back, since we're not deferring it or anything like that?
I suspect, just reading the
they need to
motions
know
here today,
when it's
I think
coming
we'll have an
back also.
impact. I think we'll have a study within the next month. We'll review it within a couple weeks or something. It'll be back on the agenda next month. Whether it's an action item or not, we don't know yet. But we still keep the forum here. We keep the public interest here. And the information coming to you. I don't think that report will probably be ready and reviewed by this time next month. It might be. Again, this report's going to come in and say the roads are this width and the turning radius is this, and the report's probably going to say it's all okay, we're willing to do a right turn lane or a left turn lane. And until somebody or a reason comes for us to present something to you for approval, it may not come as an action item. Right now, there's not anything as an action item. I have a feeling we're going to get a request to prohibit trucks or some other method like that to take care of their neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay. And so, Councilman, that's enough time. You already on notice for the 12th of October. Just want to make sure you all know. Okay.
All right. Any other commissioners have comment on this item? Okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, I'll turn the gavel back over to you.
Thank you, John. Appreciate everyone being here with us today and hearing your comments. But at this time, Captain?
I make a motion. Do we need to discuss the gentleman who came here for the taxi?
No, I'm just going to meet with him after.
No.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting. Second.
Have a first?
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.